Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, my name's AMMAR and I'm an electric skateboarder and content creator based right here in the UK. My goal for this channel is to be a resource for you e-skaters through reviews, tutorials and ride videos. So if any of that is of interest to you, make sure you smash that subscribe button and join me on this journey. Now today I'm going to be unboxing the all new Exway gear drive system from Exway's new Ace Lab, which produces innovative e-skate tech, and they really are at the forefront of e-skate technology. They've also released the Exway Aux battery kit, which I've reviewed in a previous video, but today we're focusing on the gear drive video, and I'll also be unboxing a heck of a lot of accessories that Exway have sent me to check out and really mod this Exway Atlas Pro almost to the max. So let's get started with all of these unboxings, and as always, thank you so much to Nobleman Tech for being our channel sponsors. Check them out for all your e-skate safety gear, and you can of course enjoy an extra 5% off with the code AMMAR at the checkout. Let's get into these boxes. Personally, I'm more curious to get into the gear drive system, and then we'll get into all of these beautiful accessories. Let's do that. Okay. Gear drive system. Oh my god, what a care package, Exway. What a care package. Okay. So I can't even count how many little boxes are in this thing. Just gonna take them all out. All Exway branded as well. Okay, where do we start? I almost want to start with the bigger boxes first, so let's do that. Alright, so let's see if I'm right or wrong, but obviously here I've got my gear drive system for my Exway Atlas Pro 2-wheel drive. That does mean that 2 of the wheels on my Exway Atlas Pro currently would be running 7-inch off-road pneumatic tyres, knobbly tyres, and then the other 2 will just be on 6-inch pneumatic tyres. And in that setup, my board would feel like a bit of a drag race car or a drag race skateboard. So I'm guessing that Exway have probably sent me 2 more pneumatic tyres, 2 more 7-inch tyres. I'm too good, aren't I? I'm just too good. Sorry. 7-inch tyre and another 7-inch tyre with the quick release rim, so you can very easily swap out tubes in the case of punctures and resolve those, and they've got the bearings pre-installed as well, which is great. And you've also got this plastic piece to allow you to quickly remove the rim from the rest of the wheel. Okay, next up, what else do we have? Got a box with 2 boxes. What's that game where you've just got a box and a box and a box and a box, and by the end of it you end up with some tiny gift or some tiny thing? So these are going to be the shred lights mounts slash off-road fenders that you get for the Exway Atlas Pro. Interestingly, these are made of plastic. For some reason I always thought they were made of metal. It doesn't really make a difference. In fact, it's probably better that they're made of plastic because it reduces the overall weight of the board. And I mean, they're holding shred lights, they're hardly going to be holding up heavy gold bars or anything. In fact, the mounting hardware for this is actually metal, and then you've got a bunch of screws. And just for completeness sake, we'll just make sure that these are the same. Yep, they are the same. I'm just taking them out of the box so we can have a grand reveal at the end. Next up, Exway I Wonder Hydro 100mm. Oh boy. Okay, look at this smile here. I cannot wait to test these wheels, and I will be testing them not only hopefully on my Exway Atlas Pro, but also on my Exway Flex Pro, and definitely not my Exway X1 Max because that's a hub board, but yeah. These should give you an enormous amount of grip when you're riding in wet conditions especially, but also when you're riding off-road. I'm not sure how much more comfortable they are than something like cloud wheels, but we will of course test that. You also get various washers. Of course, if you take your stock wheels off a board like the Flex Pro, you can just use those washers, but you do get new washers, which is good. Okay, let's start getting into the rest of these boxes. This is going to be a 40/40 pulley. Yep, 2 44 tooth pulleys for the hydro wheels. Interestingly, Exway have very similar pulleys to boosted pulleys, where you've got bearings on the inside as well as on the outside of the pulley. Evolve pulleys just have the one pulley here on the outside. Even more 44 tooth pulleys here. And we then have a newbie footstop. Now Exway do these in so many different colors, but I've opted to go for just a nice stealthy black one to match the rest of my Exway Atlas Pro. Everything else on that board is black. And look at that, that's really nice. You can put that as a nice little design feature at the front. It's a collaboration between Newbie and Exway, clearly as you can see there. And just some Allen keys and screws, etc. to make sure that you can mount it properly. And we then have some belts from Exway. I love how everything, literally everything you get from Exway is Exway branded, just like an Apple product. Honestly, if Apple entered the e-skate world, then there would definitely look something like Exway, I think. Really robust, thick belts. I've never ever actually snapped a belt on any of my Exway boards before, and some of them I've ridden upwards of 1,000 miles on, so I quite like the belts that Exway give and the supply that they use for their belts. And they've actually sent me 4 belts, which is quite nice. I think the reason Exway have done this is because it's so expensive to ship things to the UK, so they've just said, oh, let's just ship them everything. And then finally, I've got a extra lanyard for my remote control, which didn't really request, but always nice to have another pair of these. So yeah guys, that's everything unboxed for now. What I'm now going to do is install all of this onto my Exway Atlas Pro, and I want to see how it all looks with the aux back. I think it's going to look absolutely badass. And I've got my Shredlights SL300s already. Shredlights sent those to me when they were first released, and I've still not made any review or video on them. I've just sort of had them sitting right there. Still need to make a review on those things, but I'll install them with the board along with both of Exway's brand new products, the gear drive and also their aux pack from their Ace Labs, and these wheels as well we will check out in a future video. I can't wait to test these wheels myself, see what I make of them once I'm riding them, and yeah, cut to that riding portion now.
All right then guys, welcome to the riding portion of this video. And oh my god, Exway, what have you done? What have you built? Gee, honestly, this has to be one of the best e-skate experiences I've ever had, and it's right up there with the Flux Motion AT2. My first ride of that board, I had a smile on my face that was from cheek to cheek, and I've got the same thing just here, red light. So you guys would have seen that I've obviously installed the gear drive system on this board, and with me installing that, I have actually increased the size of these wheels from 6-inch to 7-inch wheels, and they're also of course off-road wheels now as well. They're using off-road tires, and ordinarily on an electric skateboard, red light there, let's not blow a red light. Ordinarily on electric skateboards, in fact, because I've got the free mold enabled, I can just reverse quite easily there and get back into position. But when you increase the size of wheels on your electric skateboard, you actually end up with slightly less torque and acceleration. However, interestingly, the gear drive actually provides a little bit more torque, off the mark torque and acceleration and grunt than belt drive. However, I think you probably miss out on a few miles an hour on the top end. So if you're after that sort of better acceleration experience, then the gear drive is definitely a great contender for you. But I wouldn't say there's too much in it, to be honest. It's not an enormous difference. I think gear drive really would be well catered to you as an electric skateboarder if you were somebody that wanted to enjoy your board off-road, because of a number of benefits. Not only do you get a bit more acceleration, a bit more torque, but also in addition to that, it's extremely low maintenance with this gear drive kit. Probably once a year, once every 1,000 miles or so. So glad that that guy spotted me there. Once every 1,000 miles or so, you'll have to replenish the grease within this board, within the drives. And apart from that, you don't have to worry about snapping belts or anything as you would on belt drive. In addition to that, the motors are so well. He should be riding on the left there, I don't know what he's doing. In addition to that, the motors are so well enclosed within that casing at the back of the board that if you're riding off-road, you can hit rocks, you can hit boulders, you can ride over twigs, anything you want really, and you'll know that the motors are very well protected there. and you don't have to worry about damaging them in any way whatsoever. So yeah, minimal maintenance. It's almost like experiencing the minimal level of maintenance that you get on a hub-driven board, but of course with a lot more power, a lot more power. I'm currently actually riding in mode 3. I did put the board in turbo mode earlier on when the camera wasn't recording, but I'm not going to do that just now because I don't want to become road spaghetti just for some mere internet points. As cool as it would make me look, riding full speed on this board with gear drive, with the way it's looking now, with the beautiful Shredlights SL 300s and the SL R1s at the back as well, on the fenders, like, oh my, just the look of this board, honestly. Everybody who I'm driving past is just in awe. Why does that Toyota taxi not indicate? Oh god, so annoying. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this board for the carved monster that it is, and just to show you guys, even with 7-inch tires and even with this battery box on the board, which means that I never ever need to worry about range anxiety again. Literally, I'm so far away from home right now. I'm nowhere near home, and normally I'd be, you know, anxiously looking at my phone, looking at Google Maps, making sure I'm not going too far away to make sure that I've got enough range to get back without having to get a taxi or public transport. But with this battery, I mean, I'm not sure the exact figure of range I can expect with 2-wheel drive, gear drive and 7-inch tires on the Atlas Pro, but I will put that on the screen for you. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't even have to stress about any numbers. I can just ride, carve until, you know, literally to my heart's content, to use that expression. And this is really the beauty of what Exway have created here. They've created a board that you are the limit for. This board does not limit you in any way. It doesn't limit you in terms of top speed. It doesn't limit you in terms of range or acceleration. So many different options that you have. If you want 4-wheel drive, you can purchase another kit, put it at the front. If you want belt drive, you've got that. If you want gear drive, you've got that. If you want AT wheels, 6-inch, you've got that. 7-inch, you've got that. Any other sides of wheel, if you want hydro wheels to ride in the rain or in the wet, then I wouldn't really recommend that. If you want cloud wheels, if you want 90mm wheels, literally whatever option you want, Exway are catering for. So this is really why I love this board so much. The level of customization and the level of modularity that you can experience with this board is just absolutely phenomenal. I don't think there's any electric skateboard on the market today that offers you this much customization. That dog is loving these gear drives, and I can just hear it in the excitement in his barks there. But honestly guys, I'm absolutely in love with this thing. And interestingly as well, oh, that's a nice tank there, that's quite interesting. Interestingly as well, the gear drive system is a little bit quieter than belt drive, which is something that I wasn't necessarily expecting. I think it's using Helicon gears, so I was expecting it to be at least a little bit louder than belt drive, but maybe I just don't know too much about gear drive systems. I'm still waiting for Exway to release their hub drive 2. For now, let me just kick the board into T mode, into turbo mode, because that car behind me is anxiously looking to gain on me, and there we go. I did actually loosen the trucks a little more than I would when I was installing the gear drive on this board, which by the way, it was a super simple installation experience. You literally take off the belt drive from the hanger. Be really careful about that, guys. Did you see what just happened there? I almost fell into a nasty speed wobble. In the UK, I'm not sure if this is the same in other countries, but at bus stops and stuff, and bus lanes sometimes, where buses stop and go off very regularly, they can create these sort of waves in the concrete, in the tarmac, and it can really throw off your balance if you catch it the wrong way. It can send you into an almighty speed wobble, so just be really careful. In fact, I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate that here as well. I'm going to slow down here. You see that, how the road just changes there. Just be really careful of that, guys, if you're riding in the UK, because thankfully I haven't fallen off because of that yet, but if I'm not careful, then it's bound to happen one day. But yeah, guys, I'm in love with this board, honestly. As I mentioned, the modularity that you can experience on it, and you know, just the lack of any barriers that stop you from being able to use your electric skateboard. You know, if you want to ride for 30, 40, 50 miles, you can do that. If you want to ride for even longer, just slap on some street wheels on this beauty and you can do that, right? You know, this is a board that is catered to your needs exactly. That's what is so exciting about this board. And what I also want to touch on, guys, is this is actually my first ride riding this board with the AUX battery bank in the middle. And if anything, it actually gives me more stability, I feel. There's more weight centered on the board, and I feel more stable than I did when the AUX pack was not on. However, it does take a little bit of getting used to when you're carving, just because the weight distribution is different to as it would be, you know, if you just had, let's say, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive without the AUX pack, with nothing in the middle. However, there's no sort of hindrance in any way in terms of my feet placement. Like if I want to bring my feet there, which I would never do that, I would have my feet at the front of the deck. Let's let that guy overtake us. I've got so much room on this deck, right? I've got ample room, and if I've got bigger feet as well, then this deck is more than accommodating for that, whilst I've still got the AUX pack connected. And at the front of the deck there as well, you'll see my newbie / Exway foot stop as well, which you know, whilst I'm going off-road or whilst I'm traveling at high speed, is gonna really enable me to feel planted. I can really feel the edge of the board, and I can ensure that you know, when I'm riding off-road, or if I go over a pothole or something, or if I go over any bumpy terrain, or if I go over this drain just now, just here, my feet is not going to move around. I feel really at one with this board, and that foot stop for those kind of riders is a great investment. If you are going to be purchasing the Exway Atlas Pro in order to ride off-road, then I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and purchase that foot stop, just so you can feel extra stable on your board. I've just realized actually I've been talking and riding for so much, and you guys couldn't even see me, so sorry about that. Sorry if that was rude. I don't know how we would even describe that. Is that just video making etiquette? Guys, this car behind me is just so desperate to overtake. Like, where are you even gonna go? You're coming up to a roundabout anyway, mate. There's not really much to gain on me here, but I don't want to get run over by him out of frustration, so I'm gonna try and move out of his way. Let's go left here. Let's hope he doesn't follow us. Nope, he's gone. Brilliant stuff. So guys, I'm in absolute awe of this Exway Atlas Pro, guys. Honestly, loving every second riding this thing, and I don't even know, like, I don't know what more I could say about it. It's just a joyful ride, an absolutely joyful experience riding this thing. It carves like nothing else, even though I've got that AUX battery bank in the middle of the board, even though I'm on 7-inch tires, and even with gear drive now with those wide trucks as well. Literally, the carving is just as good as it was on the original Exway Atlas, which I loved. It's just as good as it would be without the AUX pack. In fact, you probably feel a bit more stable because of what I mentioned earlier. And just a little brake test there, you can see the sharpness of the brakes with these Helicon gear drives as well. Brilliant stuff, guys. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my ride here and just turn the camera off and just enjoy this board for what it really is. Hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing of the gear drive system installation and ride video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So make sure you've liked, commented and subscribed to the channel if you're new here, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Ride safely and peace.